Welcome, future teacher. This lesson is proudly presented by TeacherPreps.com. In this study guide, we'll be covering the most important need-to-know topics for your assessment of professional knowledge. Elementary NES 053 exam. Let's dive in and get you prepared to pass. Before we get into the content, let's quickly review what you can expect on test day. The NES 053 exam has 100 selected response questions, which are your multiple choice questions. You'll also have 2 constructed response assignments, which are written responses where you apply your professional knowledge to a scenario. It's a computer-based test, and you'll have approximately 3 hours to complete everything. The exam covers 3 main domains, which we'll explore now. The exam is organized into 3 domains. Domain 1, Student Development, Learning and Differences, makes up about 24% of the test. Domain 2, Assessment, Instruction and Learning Environment, is the largest section at 50%. And Domain 3, Professional Roles and Responsibilities, accounts for 26%. Let's start with Domain 1. Domain 1 focuses on student development, learning, and differences. You'll need to understand human development processes, including physical, cognitive, social, and emotional development. This domain covers learning processes and major learning theories you'll apply in the classroom. And critically, you'll need to know how to work with diverse learners, including English language learners and students with special needs. This domain has 3 competencies and makes up 24% of your exam. Here are the key developmental theories you need to know. Piaget's cognitive development theory describes how children think. Most elementary students are in the concrete operational stage, meaning they learn best with hands-on materials and real examples. Vygotsky emphasized the zone of proximal development, the gap between what students can do alone and with help. Use scaffolding to support students in this zone. Erikson's psychosocial stages tell us that elementary students are in industry versus inferiority. They need to feel competent and successful. And Bronfenbrenner reminds us that students are influenced by multiple systems: family, school, community, and culture. You'll also need to understand major learning theories. Behaviorism focuses on reinforcement and consequences. Positive reinforcement strengthens desired behaviors. Cognitivism views learning as information processing. Students encode, store, and retrieve information. Working memory is limited, so chunk information. Constructivism says students actively build knowledge by connecting new information to what they already know, and social learning theory emphasizes that students learn by observing and modeling others. Teachers are powerful role models. Working with diverse learners is critical for this exam. For English language learners, know the stages of language acquisition. Remember that social language, or BICS, develops faster than academic language, or CALP. For students with disabilities, understand IEPs and the difference between accommodations and modifications. Differentiation means adjusting content, process, or product based on student needs. Use flexible grouping and tiered assignments. And cultural responsiveness means valuing students' backgrounds and incorporating their cultures into instruction. Now I want to pause here for a moment. What you're watching is a partial study guide covering the most essential topics. If you want access to our complete comprehensive study materials covering all 9 competencies in depth, click the link in the description below or visit us at TeacherPreps.com. All right, let's continue with our lesson. Let's move on to Domain 2, Assessment, Instruction, and Learning Environment. This is the largest section at 50%. You'll need to understand assessment instruments and practices, including formative and summative assessments. Instructional planning covers how to design effective lessons and units aligned to standards. Instructional approaches include direct instruction, inquiry-based learning, and cooperative learning. And classroom management covers creating safe, productive learning environments. Assessment is a major topic on this exam. Formative assessment is ongoing and guides your instruction. Think exit tickets, observations, and questioning during lessons. Summative assessment happens at the end of a unit to evaluate mastery. Think chapter tests and final projects. Diagnostic assessment happens before instruction to identify what students already know and what they need. And authentic assessment asks students to apply learning in real-world contexts, like writing a letter or solving a real problem. Effective instructional planning is essential. Use backward design. Start with your end goals, then plan assessments, then design instruction. Write clear learning objectives that are measurable and specific. Use action verbs from Bloom's taxonomy. Ensure alignment between your standards, instruction, and assessments. If you're teaching it, assess it, and apply universal design for learning by providing multiple means of engagement, representation, and action and expression. Know a variety of instructional strategies for this exam. Direct instruction is explicit and systematic. It works well for teaching specific skills and procedures. Inquiry-based learning starts with student questions and involves investigation and discovery. Cooperative learning uses structured group work where students have assigned roles and are accountable to each other. And differentiated instruction means adjusting your teaching to meet the needs of all learners in your classroom. Classroom management is about more than discipline. Proactive strategies prevent problems before they start, establish routines and transitions early, have clear expectations, and teach procedures explicitly. Students need to know exactly what's expected. Use positive behavior supports. Focus on reinforcing desired behaviors rather than just punishing misbehavior. And create a safe, inclusive environment where all students feel they belong and can take risks. Now let's cover Domain 3, professional roles and responsibilities, making up 26% of the exam. This includes building partnerships with families and community members. You'll need to understand collaboration with colleagues, including co-teaching and professional learning communities. Professional ethics covers teacher conduct, confidentiality, and legal responsibilities. And continuous professional growth means reflecting on practice and pursuing ongoing learning. Building family partnerships is essential for student success. Use two-way communication, not just one way. Listen to families, not just inform them. Involve families in learning. Share strategies they can use at home to support their children. Be culturally sensitive in your outreach. Consider language barriers and cultural differences in how families engage with schools. And connect with community resources. Libraries, museums, and local organizations can enhance your teaching. Professional ethics are critical for all teachers. Understand student confidentiality under FERPA. Student records and information must be protected. Know your mandated reporter responsibilities. If you suspect abuse or neglect, you must report it. Maintain professional boundaries with students, families, and colleagues, and use ethical decision-making frameworks when facing dilemmas. Consider what's best for students. Before we wrap up, here are some test-taking tips. Always read questions carefully. Sometimes the answer is in the question itself. Use process of elimination to narrow down your choices. Be cautious of answer choices with absolute words like always or never. These are often incorrect. And manage your time. Don't spend too long on any single question. Answer what you know, then come back to difficult ones. For the constructed response section, remember these tips. Address all parts of the prompt. If it asks for 2 strategies, give 2 strategies. Use specific examples and teaching strategies, not vague generalities. Reference educational theories and research-based practices to demonstrate your professional knowledge. Keep your response focused at 200 to 300 words. Quality matters more than quantity. And that brings us to the end of this study guide, Future Teacher. Remember, you've chosen an incredible profession. Teaching elementary students means you'll be shaping young minds during some of their most important developmental years. I wish you the very best of luck on your NES 053 exam. You've got this. For more study resources, practice tests, and complete study guides, visit us at TeacherPreps.com. Thank you for studying with us. Go pass that exam.